This is a download from the BBC. To find out more, visit bbc.co.uk/Radio 2.
Is it me or is this becoming a habit? I'm not complaining, just very surprised. In a good way. So, welcome to the best bits from the Graham Norton radio show. Sadly, they are few and far between, but I'm talking slowly. We've stretched the tape and tried to pad it out with a few jingles, that sort of thing. So, coming up in this free download from your BBC, we've Pets and Steps. Yes! Neil Tennant and Chris Lowe, a.k.a. the Pet Shop Boys. And 5, 6, 7, 8. I chat to Lisa, Lee, Faye and Claire, better known as Steps. That's not all of them. There's another one, isn't there? Yeah, there's another one. There's a missing step. We'll get to that. The naughty step. Plus, ahead of her stint standing in for Vanessa Feltz, Maria McCurlin has 2 more Grill Grahams. And be sure to hear if I mention you in our top 5 listeners who bothered to email the show countdown. Enjoy.
Graham Norton.
And in 2 Fridays' time, I'll be having a Bond special. We've got Daniel Craig, Judi Dench and Javier Bardem on the chat show. Very excited about that. Almost as excited about the arrival of Maria McCurlin in the studio, ladies and gentlemen.
Can't we have them on the radio show?
No.
Oh.
We've got pets. We've got the Pet Shop Boys.
No, I know, but in 2 weeks' time, can't we just kind of have them on afterwards, after you do your TV? I suppose you wouldn't have anything left to say.
No, because I'll have wrung them out.
How is Daniel Craig looking? Is there another sort of trunk scene for us? Swimming trunk scene?
What's clever about this Bond is they've just tapped into all the things we like. So he does have his shirt off for most of the film, it seems to me.
And he's buffed up very much.
Oh, yes.
But no trunk shots this time. I think he might have said no.
Oh, there is a tiny bit where he's sitting on the edge of a pool in Shanghai.
I just saw the producer through the glass doing very, very small thing with fingers, and I was thinking,
It was a
short
scene. It was a short scene.
Yes,
That's what we're saying.
I see what you mean. Graham, you have been we've heard about your bladder with the film, and then we've heard about your dicky tummy either end. You've been a little bit scatological this morning.
I do apologise. I'm sure you will be doing nothing of the kind when you're sitting in for Vanessa Feltz next week.
Nice. Nicely done, Graham.
Well, I knew you were going to bring it up, so I thought I'll be nice and I'll bring it up
Thank you.
first.
That's kind. Yes, I'm sitting in from 5 till 6:30 next week for the gorgeous and charming Vanessa Feltz.
Wow. Can you, play 6 records in a row and just kip?
Well, Graham, I'll throw that back to you. Yes, you can, and you do. I quite often come in, like I came in this morning, to show Graham something that was in one of the tabloids, where they've put people who look like their pets, and they have got Graham's head, but superimposed his dog Bailey's face on it.
What's annoying is I look so much better as Bailey.
As a dog.
I look lovely as a dog.
You do, you look very, very charming.
The Queen as a corgi is
But when I
adorable.
come in, can I just say to everybody, when I come in, he is always texting or tweeting or doing something.
Just staying in touch. I'm very connected. Can I just say, I was very drawn when I turned the page.
Yes.
To an ad for warm-lined, water-resistant trousers with a nice elastic waistband. Don't they look good?
Is this going back to your problem watching a film without going to the
side
loo?
elastication. They just look so comfortable, don't they?
Water resistant on the inside or on the outside?
All over. In or out. They work either way.
I don't think you need those for another 2 or 3 years,
You
Graham.
can get them in all sizes. They're only $19.99. Lovely. Very good.
And you're drawn to them.
Very. And Vanessa's show.
Yes.
So that's not people who are still awake. That's people getting up, isn't it?
Largely it's people getting up. So when I stood in for Alex Lester, the Dark Lord, before, I think that was very much through the night. Whereas...
Yeah.
And so I was quite laid back. So I think I'll have to be a little bit more pumped. I think I'll have to double my coffee intake.
Yeah. Yeah.
For this one. Because it is, real people, obviously, not you and I, Graham, do get up quite early in the morning when it's still dark and everything.
I know they're defrosting fridges, all sorts. Very busy.
Grill Graham.
Yes, it's that time again. Oh, I can't wait to help people. Before we get on to the problems, can I just say,
Yes.
reopen that Levinson inquiry,
What?
because I don't think that is my dog's head in the Daily Mail
out of
today.
here,
It's
Graham.
not. That is just some sort of library shot of a Labradoodle. That is not my dog.
But really, can you tell? Because can I just say, they do all look quite similar.
Back off, lady. I know my dog. That's not my dog.
Really?
No. So, if you're listening, Levinson. Is Levinson in hiding? Has he gone to Australia or something?
No, it's out shortly.
But is he writing it in Australia? I think he is. I think he needed some sun.
Anyway, it's to be published in about 2 weeks, isn't it?
Imagine how bored he must have been. Oh, more?
Yeah, really.
Anywho, let's get on.
Life will change, of course, when his report comes out.
Oh, everything's going to change. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be New Britain. It's going to be New Britain when that comes out.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get on, Graham.
Yes.
Our first problem this morning is, dear Graham and Maria, I'm in a relationship of 36 years.
Oh, poor thing.
And I don't want anyone else.
Oh, sorry, my mistake.
We've had a good life together and he's the love of my life.
Yada, yada.
We followed our dream and... Can you not interrupt, please?
Sorry.
We followed our dream and moved to the country 5 years ago when my husband retired. Everything was fine until we had grandchildren. I never put this in the equation about moving, thinking it wouldn't make much difference to our lives. Now we have 4 grandchildren and I love them so dearly and want and need to be close to them. My husband doesn't want to move, that is, as he loves living here. It took me 20 years to persuade him to move house, and here I go again. I don't want anyone else, but I'm starting to feel trapped because moving is not on the agenda. That's from C in Cumbria.
Sounds like someone in the James Bond film.
It's quite a convoluted...
C in Cumbria.
Yeah, it's quite a convoluted question. But I can't help but thinking, really, you didn't factor grandchildren into the equation? You have children. Presumably they were going to get married. Presumably they would have children.
But I think what she didn't factor in is how it would make her feel. She didn't know that she'd want to spend so much time with them.
Yeah. But
I just think, see, in Cumbria,
yes,
there's an odd thing. When people say, oh, I'm moving to the country, it's as if they're shutting the gates on the town and you're not allowed back in. You don't feel trapped because you're not trapped.
Yeah, you can go on your own. You don't have to take your husband. He likes being in the country. Go alone.
Or, and also, we don't know where...
Yeah, we don't know quite how far away they are.
And we don't know... Like, it's odd. If you've got these children, the grandchildren, are they all in the same place? That would be peculiar if they were. Mm. So presumably they're in different places. Where do you want to move? Here's my idea.
Oh, yes.
I say this to your husband, and maybe he'll hate it, but I think it's quite a sweet idea. Get a camper van. Get a camper van, and you can go and see people, and you don't have to stay in their house, because frankly, these children will hear this letter and go, because the kids probably quite like their distance.
Also, that's the other part of the equation. The kids' parents may not want you on the doorstep every 2 minutes. I mean, when you say get a camper van, I think she's been together with her husband for 36 years. He's knocking on a bit. He's not going to want to do camper van. He's set in his ways. He likes being at home in the country. I do like that thing, though, that people in the country, whenever you live in the city, they always say, do come and visit. It's literally an hour away from London. 4.5 hours later, and you're still on the M25.
Yeah, when did you do that hour-long journey? Like
by helicopter.
Yeah, in the middle of the night, breaking every speed limit known to man. And also, here's okay. I think you should stay where you are and enjoy your life in the country and don't feel trapped because, as I say, you're not trapped.
There's a train, there's a bus, there's a car, presumably, that you can drive. Go visit whenever you like. Leave your husband in the country.
But... and this is your argument with your husband, you have been married 36 years. So that suggests you are of an age. Mm. And as you guys get older, it might be quite nice to have your kids nearer. Just because it's nice to have someone, to check in on you and maybe, help you get your shopping. Just because life becomes more difficult as you get older. So you might want to regroup as a family as you get older.
So what are you saying? Move?
Well, I'm saying
it's taken her 20 years to get her husband to make this move out to the country.
So I would enjoy the country for the time being, but at the same time, I think it's something that people don't consider when they do these great big retirement things. Kind of like, oh, we're moving to the middle, the wilds of Scotland.
Yeah, 200 miles from a hospital.
Yeah, suddenly, they're miles from a hospital, they're miles from doctors, they're miles from a shop. And that's great when you're in your 60s, but when you're in your 80s, it's not as easy.
I would start working on your husband now to find a retirement home near your children. And then in 20 years' time, you should be okay.
Or I would see which children are doing best in their careers and then move nearest to them. Graham, my son, daughter-in-law and new granddaughter have just moved to China. She's not happy. Who's this? Hazel in Battle in East Sussex. Please tell your listener to just be grateful her family are in the same country. They are retired, so what is the problem? Just drive over and spend a couple of days a month with them. And do what we do and talk online every week. Just enjoy every moment of their days together, with or without your grandchildren nearby. Oh, Hazel, your poor son. I can only imagine when he broke the news to you that he was moving to China. Can I just say, though, Battle, I drive through it quite often. It looks lovely, and I always think to myself, I must stop one day. But I think parking... Where do you park in Battle? It always looks very difficult to me. Hey, Graham, C from Cumbria would have got married at 20. That would make her just a few years older than you. C, not from Cumbria. But that's fascinating. I'm not sure how it helps with her seeing her grandchildren. The kids will defo not want their ageing and needy parents close by. Camper van is best idea. Tom in Lytham. That was my idea, the camper van, actually. Who's this from? This is from Lee. Why do you need to be that close to your grandchildren? Are you sure your children want you that close? Are you really sure you want to be close? Imagine the fun your grandchildren can have with you in the country, something they cannot get in the city. Wise words. Yes, they can come and visit you and run around and, find hedgehogs and see where the badgers live, that kind of thing. Give your husband a break. He deserves one after 20 years of you prodding and persuading him to move. Your husband deserves an award for staying with you for 36 years. But for more than half that time you were together, he's had to put up with you moving house. That's from Brian, and he wants to say happy birthday to Lucas Parker in Saigon, in Vietnam. All over the world, ladies and gentlemen. Jan Round, perhaps your children don't want you to move nearer them. Have you thought of that? And there are cars. If you can't drive, get a bus. It sounds like a feeble excuse to leave your husband. Funny you say that, Jan. That crossed my mind too, where she's constantly saying, I love him so much. I don't want anyone else, but I'm feeling a bit... Yeah, I wonder if it's just a reason to get out. My granddaughter's on the other side of the world. Be grateful for what you have. That's from Christine James. All these grumpy parents. They've got to live their own lives, these kids. They can't live their lives for you. You had them. And they owe you nothing. The grass is always greener. Get a dog. Oh, Julie. This is from Julie Key. Make sure the grandchildren want to come and visit by making her home a lovely place of fun where they can play out, make camps and do stuff that they would not get to do wherever they live. How far away are they? Can you go and visit easily? It is not necessary to live on top of each other in order to have a great relationship. Claire Tussell. Put up and shut up. You make decisions and stick to them. Well, no, you're allowed to change your mind, Claire. Teresa Wilford. Well, let's just say you should thank your lucky stars that, one, you are still alive to have grandchildren, and two, that you still have your husband. Just be happy with what you both have. There were such things as cars, I sort of know what you mean in a roundabout way. Yeah, just enjoy what's good about your life rather than focusing on what you don't like about your life.
Graham Norton.
The Pet Shop Boys are here.
Hello.
That's Neil and...
Hello.
That's Chris. How are you both?
Very good, thank you.
You must be thrilled with the success of this 11th album, and, fantastic reviews. Fantastic response.
Yes, even one or two people have bought it. So
well, that's all
we're
good.
really made up, yeah.
Do you, at this stage, do you care?
Yes, we do care.
About the response or
about the
quality
response
of the music?
No, obviously you care when you're putting together the album, but do you care about what then happens when you give it out to the world? Do you care?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
but we always try to make the best record that we're going to like ourselves. You can't really tell what other people are going to like, sadly.
And this is the first time you've worked in America, recorded in America.
It is indeed, yes.
How did that happen? Why did that happen?
Well, we wrote these songs and they had a sort of slightly smooth sound, and we thought if we went to America, we'd get amazing backing vocalists. And so you get sort of amazing level of professionalism, and we worked with a producer who'd worked with Kanye West, and Kanye West's records are very electronic, but they're very different from ours, of course, and we just thought we'd get something different.
And in terms of putting together an album, how do you approach it? Do you kind of go, oh, we've written enough songs now? Or do you sit down and, right, we're going to write an album?
Well, for this, we wrote quite a few songs, but then we edited together the ones that we thought had a similar mood and rejected the more up-tempo dance stuff.
Well, there is am I right in saying there's a sense in this album of looking back, of taking stock?
I think it's not so much that as looking at it from our perspective of how old we are, and we've been doing this for a long time, and making fun of it a bit. It's a track we are.
Your early stuff,
which all these remarks taxi drivers have made to me about how we must be retired now. So. And so yeah, it is. Maybe taking stock is a good way of putting it. Yeah, it is. And also, we could have made a banging dance album. We wanted to do something that was sort of a beautiful listening experience. So it's quite an unusual album for us, in that it is quite reflective.
And I suppose in a way it's reflective, but it also reflects your fans, because we're the same age as you, I guess. Have we all grown up together? Is that what's happened?
Maybe. I think maybe a lot of our fans are 10 or 15 years younger than us, because they might have been at school when we were.
But they're probably not clubbing, though, are they?
No, they've all got.
Even if they're 15 years younger, they're probably not doing an all-nighter.
They've all got children and proper jobs.
Yeah,
and all the rest.
And you can listen to this album in your house.
Yes, you can, or your car.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
And it's all very. Yeah, it is. But that sounds like a bad thing. But it's a beautiful thing.
I think it's a beautiful thing as well. But we are going to be making something a bit more up and dancey next, just because we have got these songs we haven't finished yet.
Yeah. Are you going to tour this?
Yes, next year.
And so that'll be quite a gentle, lovely evening.
Well, will it? I don't know if it will. Actually, someone wrote on iTunes or some website or something that they wanted our next tour to be even better. More strobes.
Yeah.
What was the other thing?
And banging.
More strobes and banging. So actually, we're going to take advice from this person. The next tour is going to be more strobes and banging.
In a way, I was slightly surprised that you'd came up with a new studio album, because you'd gone away into so many different things. I thought maybe you'd fallen out of love with doing this.
No, doing different things like we did the ballet, the most incredible thing. It kind of gives you the hunger to make pop records again. Because when you're writing this it's very long piece and it's really fascinating to do it, you just think how great it would be to write a 3.5-minute pop song. So I think the two things play off each other.
Because when was that? Was it 2006? 9?
The ballet was 2 years ago.
No, the last
studio album was 2009.
2009.
Yes. Yeah.
So does it get to a point where you miss it? You kind of think, I want to go back into the studio and I want to do that. Or are you kind of in the studio all the time?
Well, we do work all the time. If we're not touring, we're normally in the studio writing. And we're currently writing a piece about Alan Turing, the scientist.
Yeah.
So we're going to debut some of those pieces at, when is it? December, with the BBC Philharmonic up in Salford. So looking forward to that.
There's fancy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Philharmonic in Salford.
Yeah. No, because Alan Turing lived in Manchester.
Well, it all makes sense.
So it all hangs, it's frightfully clever. And actually we're working with Alan Turing's biographer now, Andrew Hodges, who is the cleverest person we've ever met. He's a professor at Oxford University. And we had a meeting with them. I think he was slightly nervous meeting us, and we were really nervous to even mention anything to do with science, so you've got to do with Alan Turing, because he's so astonishingly, clever.
Is it a narrative piece?
It is a narrative. Yeah, it's got a sort of narrative. It's kind of like the story of Alan Turing. Just key moments in the life of Alan Turing.
It's music with narration. We've got to find someone to narrate it.
Hello!
Someone with gravitas.
Hello! Would you ever write another musical? Would you ever do another musical?
Yes. Actually, someone is about to produce a notorious musical, Closer to Heaven.
It's not notorious.
And in Australia, and they've asked for permission to make the lead character, as I'm sure you recall, is called Straight Dave, who's Irish. They're going to make him Australian.
Oh.
So I think we might have to
go...
What
a crazy production. Wow, they've just turned it on its head.
Well, actually, I think
that director is off the hook.
Graham Norton.
Let me read some of these emails.
Right.
People have been in touch.
Marvellous.
The first one I noticed, can't spell my name. We got married yesterday and we're on the way to catch the Orient Express. Oh, absolutely love the Pet Shop Boys, and we played their music in our wedding Bentley, being as we couldn't book them to perform. Tell my new husband Chris I love him loads. He's always on my mind. Oh, that's Mrs. Karen Byrne.
It's very luxurious, isn't it? The Bentley, the Orient Express.
The Bentley, I tell you. Really, actually, you're right. It's nothing to do with you. They're just showing off. they just wanted it on the radio. Yeah, the Bentley. I'm going to do. Let's get to some actual questions. What are your plans for touring dates in the UK next year? Have you decided where yet? That's Brian in Ramsgate.
No, we haven't yet. We were actually having a meeting the other day about it, but we will be touring next year, and we will be announcing the dates in the new year. Jazz.
And what size venues will you do?
Well, I don't want to say yet.
Okay.
It's not actually finalised.
All right.
A bit like last time, though. A bit like last
Brian,
time.
it's a bit like last time.
But the show's going to be not like last time.
The show's not like last time. I'm just making it clear to Brian. Can you ask Neil and Chris if they're considering doing more with collaborations, as they're now the thing in the charts? Actually, that's true. You used to be very keen on the with.
On featuring?
Yes, you know, the
Yeah.
Liza, the Dusties, all of this.
Yeah. No, we haven't got any planned, have we?
Brendan, they've none planned.
We do keep thinking, though, about doing a whole album of them, but then we never do it.
It's hard trying to think of people, isn't it? I mean, maybe people make suggestions or something.
I don't, well, or do people come up to you, do terrible people come up to you at parties and kind of go, we'd love to work with you, and you're thinking, not in a million years.
Occasionally. Occasionally.
Quick, play record, I want to know who. Quite clearly, really? Rishtard has written, quite clearly, a dubstep influence on the new album. Is that true?
The only influence of dubstep is the sort of half-tempo thing, but it's
On
not...
what track?
On Ego Music, there's sort of half-tempo thing, but it's very loose. I mean, you wouldn't call it a dubstep album, really, by any stretch.
Holly, who claims to be age 6, is coming to see you at Rough Trade on Wednesday.
We're doing a record signing.
Oh.
Rough Trade East, yes.
Holly wants to know, will you sign her notebook, or do you have to buy an album?
You are meant to buy there's an exclusive 7-inch single of Leaving, which you can only buy at independent record stores in the UK. And we are going to be signing those and copies of the new album and all the rest of it.
You're like the Martha Stewart's of music, aren't you? You just constant new formats.
Well, we've decided we're going. Every year rather, in Britain, they have Independent Record Store Day, where the music industry shows an interest in independent record stores, and people do special records for it. And then the rest of the year, we just sink back to the normal torpor, where there's not where digital sales are encouraged. So with this, we've been trying to do a product they can only buy in independent record stores.
And of course, I think with your product, people always expect kind of artwork of a certain standard.
And they get it.
They do. But this is it's quite simple, I would say, the artwork on
It is simple,
Elysium.
but it's very nicely...
It's beautiful.
Very nicely varnished and finished
Yes.
and all the rest.
Who took the picture of the sea? It's beautiful.
The picture is taken by one of our designers, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's very nice, very nice. Justine in Chelsea, don't know if you know her.
I don't actually. I've probably seen her in Marks and Spencer's.
She has a question. When you aren't working or on tour, how often do you talk to each other, see each other?
Well, it's, we're normally doing something.
Yes.
And so that we would be talking about. If we don't like go on holiday together.
No, that would be weird.
No.
But Chris, you were saying...
Well, actually, we have been on holiday together before. It wasn't that weird.
But Chris, you were saying that you're always working. Is there a routine? You know, sort of, I'll see you in the studio at 10.
11.
11. Okay.
And then we're just dying to go out for lunch.
And then it's
really.
lunch. You've only got an hour till lunch then.
Nothing really gets going
And then you have a
about
glass
4
of
o'clock.
wine, and then... Oh, should we go back? No, I can't. Should we have another? Should we have another glass of wine?
Yeah,
we need to buy a rug.
lunchtime. Yeah, we're going to buy a rug for the studio.
Ooh, I'm so glad Louis in Glasgow's asked, because I meant to ask you about it. The story behind the song Winner. Was it written for the Olympics or Eurovision?
It was we've been asked twice
Would you not do it? Would you not do it?
to.
Do it.
We were asked once to write the song. And we asked,
lads, you'd love it. Honestly, you'd love it. Do it.
the problem is there's too much to lose. It's the block.
What's to lose?
It's the block.
What's it? You
thing.
sold 50 million albums.
And then we're going to blow it on the
No,
on
you
Eurovision.
won't. You'll just have a laugh. You'll just have a laugh.
We nearly did do it, actually.
Oh,
one
you
time.
should do it. It'd be great because you could stage it so well too.
Anyway, they said, would you write the song? And we said, well, it's the sort of thing, you've got to have the right song. And when we started writing this song, we were touring with Take That last year, and we both thought, this could be the Eurovision song.
Yes.
And that's where, lyrically, the idea of You're a Winner and all the rest of it came from. And we thought of giving it to the BBC, but then we didn't. And then we put it on, and our producer said it should go on the album. And then when we finished it and the Olympics were going on, it just seemed like if we brought out the album in September and there's a song called Winner, everyone would have said, why didn't you bring it out for the Olympics? So we did.
And I love that there's a kind of... Isn't there a lyric in it about you're a winner, but only for now?
Yeah,
You know,
it's
enjoy it for the minute.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yes.
It's sort of into... I remember when we first got to number one with West End Girls and we were on Top of the Pops, and as the camera was coming towards us, Chris hissed at me, "Don't look triumphant." And it's sort of... You don't really expect a moment, something like that to last. I think we thought at that point we were going to be a one-hit wonder. And but it was sort of an amazing thing. So the lyric was a bit inspired by that as well.
Actually, Chris, I wanted to ask you, you know, obviously now it's worked out incredibly well, the glasses and the hat and everything, so you get all the money and you walk around unbothered. But obviously you didn't know how successful you were going to become. So were you signing on or something? Was there a reason why you were in disguise at the beginning?
Actually, when you look back, I wasn't that heavily disguised back then.
You were still wearing the hat and the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I think you were.
Yeah, thank you, Neil.
Well, you know, I'm basically quite a shy person.
Okay. There's more to that story, isn't there? There is a lot more to that story. You told lies. You weren't supposed to be there. We're sort of out of time. It's been lovely to see you. Thank you very much for coming in.
Pleasure.
And good luck with it all.
Dear Graham and Maria, my best friend Catherine...
Is that with a C or a K? I'm taking notes.
What?
Is it a C or a K?
You've got a copy of it, so shush.
It's a C, listeners. It's a C.
My best friend Catherine, with a C, is 49 and single. She came home yesterday with a new dress. Wait a minute, she came home yesterday? Did they live together? She came home yesterday with a new dress and asked, "Does this look okay?" I didn't know what to say because it's not the clothes that are the problem. How can you tell your best friend that no matter how much she spends on her clothes, hair and makeup, she's unattractive?
Who wrote that?
That's from Desi in Staines. Is Desi a man or a woman?
I don't know, but how do you tell someone they need a better best friend?
I know, really, my best friend, and I'm slightly sort of dumbstruck by this question.
And also, if you are of a similar age as Catherine, i.e. 49, Desi,
You don't look so great either.
But also, has life taught you nothing? You know, clearly, Catherine knows she's not a model. She's not the prettiest girl, you know, in the playground. But what are you going to do about it? She's buying a new dress. She just wanted to, you know, shut up, Desi.
I mean, the law, basically, for men or women, when somebody says, "How does this look?" is just to say, "It looks fabulous."
Yeah.
You know, it's that, "Does my bum look big in this?" and so on. No, you look great. You look marvellous. That dress really suits you. It's the perfect colour. All people want to do is be reassured.
Yeah.
And it costs you nothing to reassure. And then you're writing to us saying, "How can I tell her she's unattractive?"
Why would you want to tell her that?
I can't believe it.
Because, one, she knows, and not that she's... Also, she doesn't know that she's unattractive, because she's probably not unattractive. Unattractive isn't about how you look. That's all sorts of things. You can repel people in all sorts of ways. You can meet pretty people who are deeply unattractive.
Desi in Staines, I would say you are unattractive because of what's on the inside.
Yeah, with your stupid name with a Z in it. Yeah.
That's a horrible thing to say. We don't like you.
But obviously we talk like this about people behind their backs, you know, because we're vile as well.
Yeah.
But the fact you've written in, we are duty bound to say this is terrible. Terrible. And there is a lid for every pot. Catherine may well find someone.
I love your little Irish homilies.
And...
There's a lid for every pot, Graham.
But also I think the older you get, hopefully people start looking beyond... pure physical things.
Yes,
and
apart from in our case, Graham.
Yes,
obviously.
and you're looking for companionship, you're looking for personality, all those things, you know, and not vile, evil people like Desi.
I think you're a horrible person, Desi, and I don't know why.
I thought you were going to say that to me then.
Yeah, and you're... Graham is also...
She was looking at me straight in the eye. I think you're a horrible person. I thought, wow.
No, I'm
just
really,
giving advice to someone.
I'm affronted by Desi, who takes time to send this in to us when it's just clearly a nasty, nasty thing to say. Look at yourself in the mirror, and whatever's happening on the outside is not nearly as nasty as what's on the inside, Desi.
Yeah, Desi. Anyway, poor old Catherine. So ugly. Oh, is that your dog? Is that your dog?
Sorry, yes, my dog was just adding his thoughts to the matter.
Yeah, whatever's happening on the inside is not good. Did he have some smoked fish last night?
Let's leave that. Walk away from the lavatorial area. Graham, this new carpet that is now going everywhere, is it making you...
Depressed?
itch?
Yes.
It's making me itch. It's giving me hay fever.
It's given me a horrible insight into what Steve Wright's home must look like. I can't believe he chose this. Does he live in the Bat Cave? It's just terrible. Everyone looks better when they smile, so tell her she looks good, she will smile and look better. What a nice woman you are, Irene. The rest of people were... the rest of people are quite vicious. Joe says, what's the problem? No one wants a friend who's prettier than her. I would say nothing if I were you. That is true. Hang around with ugly people and you look stunning. I feel like that on the car ferry to Ireland. I walk off that thing feeling like a supermodel. Desi, you're a witch. Everyone, anyone can be attractive. It's not the dress, it's the person, and that really is true. You may look good in your dress, but you are very, very unattractive. Vexed of Preston. It's true. The person who, at first glance, you kind of think is beautiful, by the end of the night, that's not the person you're probably talking to. You'll be talking to somebody else. What sort of friend are you, Desi? Unattractive? It's what's on the inside. I bet you're no oil painting. If you ask me, and you did, then Catherine is a much better friend to you, as she cares what you think of her than you are to her. I hope you said the dress was lovely, and that anyone would be lucky to meet such a nice lady. That's from Sheila, who, her final word to Desi is, frenemy, j'accuse. Hi, Graham. I don't have any advice for Desi, but I have some for Catherine. Ditch Desi. She's horrible. She doesn't deserve you as a friend. There's a lot of this in this similar vein. The friend was worried about the dress, not her appearance. What business is it of Desi's? That's from Rayma. Peter Ware. Assuming Desi has a full-length mirror, stand naked in front of it, and then if she still thinks she has the right to pull her mate apart, then look for someone else to annoy, okay? Tracy Smith. Poor Catherine. The only problem is having such a toxic ex-friend. On and on. Pages of this. Desi, you're vile. We don't like you. I would say good morning, but it's not. It's bad. What's this? I've woken up with a cold. Don't you just hate it when that happens? You go to bed feeling absolutely fine, then you wake up and, oh no, I've got to go to a wedding later. I'm dreading it. I just want to stay in bed. This is Will in Dunstable. Now, Will, here, I'm not a trained doctor. I'm not associated with the NHS. But I had a terrible night on Wednesday night. I had some smoked fish too late, I think. Or maybe I ate it too fast. But I lay in bed and I thought, that's coming back in some form. One end of me is going to be visited by that. And I didn't sleep all night. It felt terrible, terrible, terrible. Really awful, awful, awful. Well, counterintuitively, the next day, I went to a tequila tasting and Mexican feast. Made me feel much better. I think all germs contained within were killed. So that'll be my top tip, Will. Have a few shots of tequila before you go to the wedding.
Graham Norton.
Steps are here. Yay! And they're smiling and clapping and everything. I've got to ask, where's H? Where's Ian?
He's left the band already.
We kicked him out.
Didn't last long.
Yeah, it was short-lived. Yeah.
Graham, what are you doing? It's all his fault.
Do you want to fill in?
No, is he feeding chickens? What's he doing?
No, I think he's actually helping his wonderful boyfriend Craig with his new production and over
He's doing
elsewhere.
lights or something.
Yeah.
Can I just say this sounds like a rubbish excuse?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Because this is a major promotional opportunity.
Exactly.
And if he cared, he'd be here.
Very,
Very
very
sad.
far
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
He sends his love.
I'm sure. I'm sure. So this is incredible. I mean, 10 years ago, no one would have thought this would happen, that you'd be back together, smiling.
I know.
But also just like selling tickets, selling records, like not just a bit, like hotcakes.
Yeah, we were kind of surprised as well, to be honest. I think the response has been quite overwhelming, but it keeps on going, and that's what's kind of scary as well.
Oh, by the way, actually, because people will want to recognise your voices. Are you like Ant and Dec? Do you sit in a particular way, or are you...
No. It's like a free-for-all. Hopefully people can recognise mine, though, from the girls.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fair.
That's fair, yeah. I always get that. I do. Tranny of the band.
So alike.
Yeah. So it's Faye. Say
Yes, hello.
And obviously that's Lee. Hello. Yes. Lovely Lisa.
Hello, family.
Yeah. And there's Claire at the end.
Hello. Can I say hello to Charlie and Daisy? They're listening.
Of course
My
you
babies.
can.
Thank you.
Do you know, it's funny because we were talking about, before we went on air, we were talking about the show on Sky, the reunion show. which was very raw. I mean, I did cry.
For us as well.
No,
I love
seriously, I
that
did.
you cried. I think
It
that's
was
amazing.
really emotional. I hardly recognised you, Claire, without tears in your eyes.
I know.
It's like, I expect to see you red-eyed. You were red-eyed for hours.
Pulling vile faces.
And
Excellent.
It did, but even then, when it went on to the next series, when you were doing the tour,
Yeah.
I mean, it still seemed really hard for you all. Is it getting easier?
It's so much easier. I mean, a lot of it was dramatised, to be honest, and I know it was a big hit
the good
for
bits.
people out there, but the truth is we actually do get on really well, and that's not always good TV. But it was a fantastic platform for us, and as you say, the album went to #1 and the arena tour sold out. So I think the audience liked the fact that we were back together again, and they wanted to know the ins and outs of what happened 10 years ago, and we almost needed to address the past to
Like a
have
bit
a
of
future.
Therapy for
It
us
was
as well at
therapy
the
on
same
camera.
time.
It really was therapy, though.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was very heartfelt because, in a way, you've got to think, a band breaks up, whatever, but you forget that there were 5 people and 5 personalities and 5 lives that have been really affected by
That's
that.
what hit us as well, to be
Yeah.
honest. I can speak for myself here. Like, it's 5 different stories. You all think you know what went on, but you don't get it from the other person's perspective
No.
until you actually sit back, watch that, or you talk about that. And for us, it was an eye-opener, for each other, I think, as well.
I think we everything that you'd put to the side or you'd gotten over, it's like somebody asked you a question about something that happened 10 years ago and suddenly it felt like a knife had gone in your gut and you were like that, oh my God, and all these things came flooding out, and it was a crazy experience to do all
Flooding
of that.
back as well, because we'd moved on. We'd all gone off and done our separate
Yeah.
things, and
Yeah.
we didn't know this was going to happen again.
Yeah.
Glad it has. but-
Had you all so you'd all drawn a line under it? That we were in steps. That was the past.
I don't think any of us thought that we'd be here all together doing this again, selling out arenas, and yes, it's very unexpected and very lovely, and we really appreciate the support we've had. It's wonderful.
And where did it come from? Was it that new manager guy? Did he dream it up, or did Living
We
dream it
found
up?
him.
That new manager guy. It was 10 years last year since we split.
Yeah.
So this year it's 15 years since we got together. So
You're so old.
I know.
God, stop reminding us.
It's awful. But the Sony, who now own our back catalogue, they decided they were going to re-release our greatest hits. So we were basically asked, do you want to be involved or not? And then the TV people came on board, and it's all just snowballed. And each little step along the way, we're not planning that far ahead, but it's all of a sudden,
we're so
we
unorganised.
Yeah. People keep saying, so what's going to happen next year? And we have absolutely no idea. We're just getting to Christmas and then
Genuinely, we
seeing
don't
what's
know.
going to happen next.
Is presumably that's because you are now 5 people with 5 different lives. I mean, back 15 years ago, this was your life.
Yeah.
All you were kids, and all you were steps. But
Yeah.
now you've got babies, you've got lives, you've got other businesses, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nearly a wife.
Really? Really?
I'm getting married in a month.
I know, finally.
Now people are crying.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, heck.
It's exciting. I look forward to seeing it on Living. Everyone's invited. And could this reunion have happened before? If 5 years ago, would you have been ready?
No, I
Well,
don't
I was
think so.
pregnant for starters.
Oh, so was I.
I think really it's happened at the right time for us, and also from the fans' point of view. It's been 10 years, so nostalgia's kicked in, and our babies are now growing into children, so it's a bit easy for us to be working mums. I mean, it's still hard, and hats off to everyone that does it out there because it's not easy. But I just think it was the right time, and that's why it's going really well.
And also the good thing is the fans have grown up. They've got better jobs now. So they can afford tickets, they can afford albums.
They did well the first time.
The strange thing is that the audience, as much as they've grown up, it hasn't changed. It still ranges from little kids to grandparents. It's unbelievable,
scary.
the age range of people that come to our shows.
Yeah, I think we were surprised to see 6-year-olds in the front of the concerts. We're like that. Oh, what are you doing?
But they're really knowing all the moves and all the dances and the singing.
Yeah, they love it,
Yeah,
yeah.
they've been passed on to the new generation, I think.
Graham Norton.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
The first new material from Steps in 10 years.
My
That is just... Oh, you must be thrilled.
Scary. Yeah, we are.
Going,
yeah.
it's quite an exciting
Beating like a
goosey.
rabbit.
We're almost crying. We're almost.
No, really, I did get a little welly there. Yeah, a little welly. Just
Emotional.
because when we were talking about how you going to the studio again after all that
Yeah.
time. And kind
Yeah.
of, doing it again. And is there a dance routine to this? Is there a video?
Well, we're in the process of dealing with that because we've got to be performing it next week.
Oh, okay.
So it's work in progress.
But it's not.
Oh, yes.
It's not a big disco event, is it? It's it's a big power ballad, really. So
I'm seeing one of those firework walls.
Yes.
like a rain curtain.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
At our perfume launch.
Oh, plug away, Faye, plug away.
Look at this. Perfume, Graham, what would you describe that as?
Smell like steps. That's fantastic. It's a glitter ball. Is it a glitter ball?
What's it called?
This
It's a
one's
disco.
for you.
It's called Guilty Pleasure.
Oh yeah.
Guilty Pleasure by Steps. Oh, you've got it.
Smell this.
That's a dangerous thing to say on the radio.
If people could only see.
What's happening now? Smell this. It's nice.
Fizzy, isn't it? Don't you
Yes,
think?
it is.
It's like refreshers.
Hang on. Let me do one that thing. Hang on.
Yeah, don't.
Watch your eyes.
Walk into it. I love that you're going to smell like
Yeah,
Guilty
I will.
Pleasure by
I'm going out to
Steps.
lunch after this. Yeah. What's that smell? Steps.
I know.
It's nice though, isn't it?
It's fun because we designed the packaging and the mirror ball, which it has
That
the
is.
perfume in
Is this
it.
in the shops yet?
It will
1st of
be.
November.
Yes,
yeah,
first week.
of November.
Oh, I can see that under so
Isn't
many
that
Christmas
amazing?
trees.
I know how much fun.
It should be hanging on the tree. It looks like a bauble.
It's a pity. Oh, now you see. Oh.
See?
I know, they should have done that as an attachment.
See?
Yeah.
But no, it's beautiful. Oh, see, that's the bottle.
Yes.
Oh, the mirror ball is the bottle.
Cool.
Honestly, anyone who's a Steps fan will love this. That is Christmas done.
It is,
Christmas
isn't it?
done.
fun
Do you
is
want? You need
that?
that back? Is that the only one?
It's the only one at the moment.
Okay.
And it's empty. There's no good for anyone, really.
Yeah.
And listen, while we're again, it's very Martha Stewart-esque. We've got the album, the single, the fragrance, and
What's
the
in your
Ultimate Tour
hand?
live DVD.
DVD.
That is that out now?
The DVD
Oh no,
is
Monday,
29th.
October 29th.
29th of October, the DVD.
Did you
Yeah.
manage to see the concert at all?
No.
Okay, well,
He
there
has
you
it.
go.
It's there, you can see it.
Here it is in my hand.
You can watch it over and over again.
And I,
Is there a DVD in the box though?
let's just
Probably not.
It could be. It is
there's
available
no
on
perfume in the
Blu-ray as well.
bottle.
Oh, no, look, there's one here.
There you go.
Oh yeah, live at the O2.
And
yeah.
I think the most exciting thing about last year was doing our own tour again, wasn't it? And I think it was the most expensive one we've ever put on. It was the most fun, but the most stressful as well, because obviously it was us coming back on stage again.
And we
so-
also said we didn't want to dance a lot, and we probably danced more on that tour
Yeah.
than we've ever danced before.
But it wasn't. 'Cause I must say, I was slightly because when you were going back together, and then because you were going to sell tickets anyway. I did sort of think, I bet you this will be a bit cut price. It'll be a bit kind of, bit of a,
street steps.
you know what I mean? Just
High street stuff.
because you didn't need to throw money out. You didn't need a big production. And then when I saw it on the show, I was like, oh wow, you really went all out.
No, we did. It was important to us. We were very much known for our touring, and we were very successful. I think we did about 5 arena tours the first time round. So we had high standards, and we wanted to give the fans a great show. We didn't want to sell them short, and it was amazing. It sold out very quickly, and to be honest, we were blown away because we were thinking maybe we would do the odd theatre, but we had a very successful arena tour.
played
So,
2 nights
this,
at the
this
O2, didn't we?
DVD, yeah, it's for anybody that came to see us on the tour and for the people that couldn't see us. So it's it's going to be it's a great show.
And I mean, you say, oh, you're not planning ahead, but seriously, you must be doing a bit of planning ahead in terms of
We know
Christmas.
Yeah, well, Christmas we've got another tour.
yeah. And how long does that go on? For?
That's only a week,
mini
and it's
one.
just at theatres.
Oh,
We're
okay.
it's like an intimate Christmas tour. So it's
Okay.
from the album.
Will there be
that's
snow?
off them.
We
There
hope so.
might be snow.
Oh, come on, have some
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
nice.
We've just done a photo shoot for the calendar as well,
Yeah.
and we were standing
There's
there.
a calendar, ladies and gentlemen.
That was seamless.
You know what?
Faye.
That was very good. Well done.
I haven't even got that written down.
no, but we had snow chucked at us while we were having these photos taken, weren't we? So I'm not sure we want snow, really.
Only if
Especially when
it's
you've got
real.
dark hair, it doesn't look like
Dandruff.
snow.
At the end. Do it at the end. Do the curtain call.
Just
Do the
in the
curtain call.
audience.
Yeah. Listen, we're out of time, but thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having
It's so genuinely exciting. It's a proper cultural event. Steps are back. And I would, do a wrap-up of everything that's out, but we don't have time. Yeah, if you want something to do with Steps, it's in a shop. Really, you can't move for products to do with Steps. We've got
10 years to make up for.
Yeah, look, lovely to see you,
Thank you, Graham.
and just best of luck.
Thank
and
you so much.
congratulations on all your success. I'm so happy for you. Goodbye, Steph! Just so you know, you don't get any bonus points for hanging on to the end. But hey, thank you anyway. Perhaps you're simply waiting to discover if you've made it into our top 5 chart of emailers. At 5, it's Bunty Fleming. Thanks for the kind words, lady from the past. Up 69 to number 4, Felicity Hardwick, who's 37 on Wednesday. You don't look it. Straight in at number 3, James Sargent. Did you pass it? Up 1 to number 2, Abic Smith in Coventry. Hello, Abic. And this week's number 1, it's birthday girl, Muriel Fletcher in Swansea. If you'd like 15 seconds of fame, drop me a line and look out for next week's download, where my guests will be Hollywood hunk and star of the Hangover movies, that's actor Bradley Cooper, plus homegrown singing sensation Lamar. Goodbye for now.
This was a download from BBC Radio 2. For more information, go to bbc.co.uk/radio2.